Captain on the bridge.
Alright, Captains, we are back here on the bridge, and today, yes, we got some things to go over from the Star Trek Online X feed, so on screen. Yes, Captains, before we get into this video, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. But also, if you're new here, welcome. Consider subscribing here to the YouTube bridge, where we're always on the lookout for like-minded captains to share our love, passion for Star Trek Online, but also things Star Trek. Now that said, here we go, Caps. We have some catching up to do and some current things to go over on the X feed. So as we normally do, we will go over them, drop the 2 ECs, and then at the end give our conclusion. So first up, it's time once again to feed your fleet projects and reputations. Captains on PC. Our bonus marks events starts tomorrow. So this is already active as the drop of this video. So from December 10th to the 15th. So we have until Sunday. The drop of this video is Thursday, so we still have up until the 15th there. We are running a special event where captains can earn bonus marks by playing content throughout the game. During the event, content that provides marks, fleet, or reputation will reward a 50% 1.5 times bonus above normal amounts. This bonus is available for all content that rewards marks. Start building your fleet project and reputations. We hope you enjoy this special event, and we will see you soon in game, or we'll see you in game. So there is that. Next up, so this patch, of course, is already done, or the maintenance. So Star Trek Online had maintenance on all platforms, and the estimated down was 8.5 hours and 7.5. That's crazy. I think that's the longest I've seen personally, or at least I can remember. Now we go to the patch notes. It's only for console, nothing about PC. So here we go, we'll go over it. So General resolved an issue that was allowing the temporal operative captain spec ability modular momentum to trigger multiple times from single activation kit modules, such as MUD's time device. This effect now correctly only triggers once per kit module activation. Didn't know that was a thing. Next up, resolved an issue that was incorrectly allowing the bridge officer cooldown benefits of all 3 of the toggle powers on the Ilios. So the Ilios is the new winter event ship prize, of course. Console to stack. These benefits will no longer stack, but instead activating any of the toggles will grant the full 20% cooldown reduction. So there you go. We haven't unlocked it yet as of the drop of this video. We are just doing our daily, and once we unlock it though, we're going to definitely unpack her and have some fun on that ship and share that fun here on the bridge with you Caps. So there's that. Now to the meat and potatoes of this video. You already saw the thumbnail, so this is what we're going to be concentrating on here. So we're going to read this first. So it says, surprise, Captains on PC, the Earth Spacedock is getting a big makeover today. No, it's not. It's not, because an hour after they tweeted that or X'd that out, hello Captains, we are so excited about the Earth Spacedock update, which we posted about earlier, that we jumped the gun a little. This update is not launching today, but rather at a later date. We'll keep you updated, and sorry for the confusion. I thought this was going to be launching with the new anniversary update, but they could actually release it sooner. Who knows? We'll have to go wait and see. Now, we've already covered the sort of updated version of this on Shribble. Now we're going to go there quickly to show what it is now. And as you can see, we are here on Shribble, or in Shribble, and it looks good, but the critique we had, and a lot of captains had, was how sort of brownish the Earth looked. It almost looked barren and dead. But they listened to us, and we covered that in a video, and then they showed us how they've updated it to closer align to what we saw on screen. And we'll go over that here. Back out of this. Back here. And of course, that is right here in this picture. As you can see, it's much, much better. Like, it's so much better. When you compare the two, when you go, it's definitely night and day, and it feels a lot more warmer and better and more screen accurate in our opinion, and of course closer to what we have now, just brighter. This just seems so dull in my opinion. So I'm glad that they listened to us, and it's looking good. It's looking really, really good. So before you can check it out yourself in game, let one of our environment artists give you a look behind the scenes. So the Earth Spacedock update. So the Earth Spacedock on PC is getting a well-deserved facelift soon. So of course, this seems that it's going to be dropping on PC first, and then of course at a later date on the console bridge. And here's that little note here that they're saying, nope, it's not. It's not live. Oops, our bad. We got excited. But of course, we have a little surprise for you, a Spacedock update, which we knew already. So to give you an overview of our new update and a little bit of insight, we've asked one of our environment artists to provide this blog for you. He might be familiar to some of you as Taco. So Taco fans, haven't heard that name in a while. So that's great to hear that name again. And that indeed is a name from the past. So what this update is about. In essence, we're replacing the exterior system space model of ESD. The current model has grown long in the tooth, and beyond that, we've seen a canon update to the Sol system via Star Trek Picard. In the third season of Star Trek Picard, we get to see the new Earth Spacedock, also known as Probert Station, and are treated to a celebration as the newly minted Enterprise F is seen exiting the docking bay. I thought that was being decommissioned, but sure. So it seems only right that we should realign our map to what we've seen on screen. And this is what we've seen. So this shot here is from Star Trek Picard, and it looks way better. Again, just comparing that to that, 100%, this and or what we'll be getting, this looks way better. Just looks more brighter and more warm, in my opinion. So that is awesome, and I love how we're just getting things into Stowe from what we've seen online or on screen, and I love that fact about it. And just the fact that Stowe is tied to the hip with Star Trek, it's just awesome. And I'd like to think that we're going to get everything that we see on screen eventually in Star Trek Online. But we'll continue on here. There, of course, is the shot of the ESD there. And of course the Enterprise F leaving Earth Spacedock. So Spacedock history. Some of you will have been around long enough to remember the OG Earth Spacedock model that we had in Star Trek Online. When Stowe first launched, it came with a, let's say, unique model for Earth Spacedock that was a new design made in-house, which served the purpose but did not match anything we'd seen on screen. It wasn't long before there was a push from players to replace it with something more canonical. So I am not part of that OG. I started playing Star Trek Online in 2014. Caps, comment below, let us know if you were part of the OG, or let me know in the comments below when you started playing Star Trek Online. The only time I've seen this is online pictures of it. It's not bad, but it's funny how this has the 4 pods there. And it's eventually kind of the same design that we got in Picard with the 4 pods there. So it works. It works. That push worked. And in 2011, the original ESC was replaced with a model based on the design first featured in Star Trek 3 and later used in TNG. It was great to have something that felt more familiar. That model served us well for over a decade now. The design is solid, but the model itself is from another time, and we can do so much better now. Of course, that is the look currently of the ESD. And again, I'm glad they're definitely kind of taking the same cue here of how it looks with that blue marble station, just more brighter as opposed to the dead one that is on Tribble now. So Spacedock visuals. So with that, let me introduce you to the new Earth Spacedock. As mentioned before, this design was taken from Season 3 of Star Trek Picard. We didn't have the official model to work from, so everything was built from screenshots of the show. We did have to extrapolate in places, but we are happy with how it ended up, and we think it is still very faithful to what we saw on screen. 100%. I totally agree. And again, look at that. The Earth just looks so much better. The light blue, the greens, the clouds, and then the station being just blue. Yeah, it definitely works. Shout out to my Nova captains. Look at that. The model here is no longer a single object, but is made up of many modular parts, which we can potentially reuse in other configurations to represent future stations. Pretty cool. The only complaint I had about the station, it just felt short. I just wish it was longer or taller. The paneling and windows have been rebuilt to closer to how ships are set up. That means that the windows are now on a separate material, allowing for greater control over placement and distribution. In addition, the windows now have a slight parallax to them, giving them some apparent depth when viewed from an angle. Blinking lights have been added all over the station. Some of these were taken from what we see in the show, and others were added to help give the whole thing a more lived-in appearance. Yeah, definitely the one on Tribble, when we first saw it, was pretty just gray, and yeah, we knew it was a whip, but this is how it's looking, and it's looking really nice. I think they did a really good job, in my opinion. I wish you can kind of go into these pods, but it doesn't matter. See, it actually does look like there's something there, so that looks really good. Looks really good. The blue marble. We've been focused on the station, but it would be a disservice to the humans, not to mention that Earth has had a bit of a facelift. The goal here was to make Earth feel large again. We've struggled with this over the years and gone back and forth. One camp loves to be able to fly all the way around the planet. That's me. I have been able to go to the top, bottom, sides, sort of different sides of the Earth to take them selfies. I absolutely enjoy doing that over the years. So I'm part of that camp. The other camp wants planets to feel massive. Unfortunately, these are mutually exclusive simply due to floating point maths, which we don't need to go into. So, at this point, the pendulum has swung in favor of a massive Earth. This is a newly constructed as a full sphere using 8K textures broken up into sections, so we can have the whole planet slowly spin, allowing you to see all sides of it, or at least of the northern hemisphere. The cloud map is set up in intersecting layers that also scroll and morph over time, all of which means that you will hopefully get a new view of Earth each time you load, or if you just get lost staring at it, solar system functionality. Looks great. Definitely looks good. And you get to see the greens again. I really do enjoy this. It'd be nice if it was a little bit more lighting, because sometimes some of the planets that we come across here in Stowe, when you look at it, like the board maps, the planets have like lights coming from it. It would be good, but yeah, nothing to complain about what we see here. Definitely looks much better. Absolutely love it. Okay, we get it. You made things prettier, but what about making things more usable? Damn it, Jim. I'm an environment artist, not a game designer. The functionality of the Sol system has not changed much, but there are some quality of life updates I hope will make life in orbit a little better for you all, or for all of you. Accessing the ground map should be the same as before, with some slight tweaks. As you approach ESD, you'll get a hail from a dock master, who will instruct you on docking procedures and offer to beam you to the station. If you choose to beam over, you will land predictably in one of the slots of the transporter pad. If you choose to continue toward the station and dock manually through one of the docking bay doors, you will instead enter the ESD ground map through one of the turbo lifts in the lower concourse. The volumes on the docking bay doors have been now inset into the docking bay itself, and while there is collision to prevent ships from sneaking in, I'm pretty sure one day we'll have someone will be able to get in there. There's no, collision to prevent sneaking in. There is no invisible collision for your camera, so you can swing your camera around to be inside the docking bay looking out. Nice! All of which should give you a little more leeway for getting screenshots of your ships entering or leaving the station. I love that! Shelfies! Let's take some. We're definitely going to be taking some shelfies when this launches. I love it. Ooh, that looks really good. I love that shot. Oh, we're taking some shelfies when this releases. Speaking of screenshots, since Earth now revolves, we couldn't maintain the geosynchronous orbits of San Francisco fleet yards over San Francisco. nor McKinley Station over Alaska. As such, the fleet yards have been removed entirely. However, McKinley Station has held on with its claw-like structure and is now placed in the far corner of the map. It's still tiny and alone, but should give you some good views of Earth as your ship gets to the TLC it needs. To make up for the loss of the fleet yards, I've added a variety of dry docks out of the space along one edge of the map. They're tiny and offset at different heights, but you should be able to see some specks of the overhead map to indicate where they are. All of the dry docks have now had their collision turned off entirely, which should make it easier to maneuver your ship into place. That's awesome. It always was kind of finicky when we were doing that. To be clear, none of the dry docks serve any kind of gameplay purpose. This is for folks who just want to take screenshots of their ships, because who doesn't want to do that? So there, I believe that's McKinley Station over there. That little bit of a claw looking there. Could have just zoomed in on that. But yeah, that absolutely looks amazing. So the Earth Space Dock Ground Map. Oh, look at that. The updated view there from inside ESD. That is the Odyssey, the Typhoon, the Stargazer. I believe that's the Vesta, the Gagarin there. Not sure what that ship is. Is that a ship or a shuttle? Shuttle. We also have made a few changes to the ESD ground map. Notably, the docking bay has been replaced with something that matches the exterior model. This is just a visual change, but it's significantly larger. I had always said previously that I was only willing to put ships into the docking bay that would actually fit through the doors. This is still true. However, we've canonically seen the Enterprise fly through those doors now, so there is a much wider variety of ships that could be placed in the docking bay now. So that's cool. I still wish we could fly inside. I don't see why we couldn't, but maybe in the far distant future. To that point, we've also changed how we create ground scale ships. This new method makes the process a little faster and easier. The hope is that we'll be able to rotate ships in the docking bay more regularly. With the docking bay changes come some minor changes to Admiral Quinn's office. You'll see in the docking bay map has been replaced with a galaxy map, and the new schematic view of ESD has been updated. In addition, the holographic representation of ESD and Ops has been updated. Ships will still circle the station periodically, but we've had to change how those work with this update. And as such, I can no longer keep the holographic cards in sync with those orbiting ships. As such, the holo cards have been removed. Now that looks cool. We did actually see that too, so that looks really cool. And we actually did show that in that video too there. The lower deck of ESD, Deck 83, which had been used for UGC originally, but no longer serves that purpose, has been removed. This was done largely because it was conflicting with the new, larger Earth, the same as you see in the Sol System map. While it's sad to remove it, I think the trade-off for a full globe animated Earth on the ground map as well as in space is worth it. Fair enough. Lastly, you'll notice a couple of Type 14 shuttles have been added to the shuttle bay, as well as the shuttles/runabouts that fly through now and then. So that's awesome. We're getting the updated Picard ships there. That about covers it. Thanks for taking this little tour around the revamped Sol System. I hope that the updated station will serve you all well for years to come. Definitely. And again, this looks much better when you put this against the view of that. Night and day. Absolutely gorgeous, and can't wait for it to drop here on PC and on console, of course. So that is it. Again, just wanted to go over that. I love this little blog that Taco did, and kind of hypes it up. Definitely hypes it up, and it makes us want the station to be live now. Hopefully they'll give us a date when this releases. Again, I had a feeling this was actually going to come out with the anniversary event, but we could be proven wrong, and it could actually come out sooner, but we'll just have to wait and see. So Caps, that is the video. Do us a huge favor again, hit the like button. Also comment below, let us know what you think of the station here. And of course, if you're new, consider subscribing to the YouTube Bridge, and we'll leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.